Shalom, shalom. Giving our honor, glory, and praises to the Heavenly Father above and Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala by saying, called Halalayim Layhawa, Alahaynawa, Yahweh Bashim El Shai, Bashem Harakakadash, Mama. Double honors to the elders, apostles of the great millstone who rule well and teach well. I want to give another double honors to my elder here, Wamba Yasha Allah as well, who taught me this truth. Peace and blessings to all the men, women, and children that believe sincerity and truth, the right folk on this earth. All right, today I have a little topic concerning marriage. All right, and we know, according to the Zondervan's Bible, the Compact Bible Dictionary, it says marriage is an intimate personal union to which a man and woman consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse and perfected in a lifelong partnership of mutual love and commitment. All right, and then in the Strong's exhaustive concordance of the Bible, the duty of marriage goes back to the word anah, which is sexual cohabitation. All right, meaning to dwell together. All right, but nevertheless, we're going to start off in 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 1. It says, nope, Salakia, I'm going to skip on down to verse 9. It says, let not a widow be taken in the number under 60 years old. All right, that word 60 just means 60, as you see right there. Definition 1 means 60. All right, having been the wife of one man, taken or chosen. All right, and they got some precepts that go along with it, but it says let her not be taken. All right, being 60 years old, man, by another man. If she's been married to only one man, all right, she's only known one man. All right, but we're reported of for good works if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work. But the younger widows refuse. All right, younger widows. All right, it's talking about the woman. They refuse. All right, and that word refuse means to shun, to avoid, to crave indulgence. All right. So that's what you see our women do today. They refuse. The younger widows, when they have begun to wax one time, they start feeling the impulses of sexual desires, so they become voluptuous. That's what it means when they begin to wax on against that anointed one. They will marry. All right, they were married to wed, have sex, to get themselves in marriage. All right, having damnation. Why? Because she's supposed to be espoused to one man. All right, she's not supposed to be committing adultery or trespassing that man, especially if he's still alive. Or if he's dead, that's another story. But he's alive, then she's bringing damnation to herself, right? Which is condemnation, all right, of wrong decisions. Okay, all right, because they have cast off their first faith. Okay, so the woman, she have cast off her first faith, man. Believing that she's supposed to be with one man, and then she gets those desires and she wants to sleep around, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle but tattlers. All right, it says a person's uttering or doing silly things, babbling of things foolish, trifling. All right, so they learn to be idle. All right, free from labor, at leisure or lazy, shunning the labor which they ought to perform as a woman, being in her righteous order. So they become idle, wandering about from house to house, being tattlers. All right, doing things that's foolish and trifling, and busybodies. All right, worrying about other folks' affairs, man. All right, about trifles and neglectful of important matters. It says busy about other folks' affairs, a busybody, things impertinent and superfluous. All right, speaking things which they ought not. But the Lord says, I would therefore that the younger woman Mary bear children, guard the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. So that's them being in their rightful order. And that's what you see a lot of these women, they avoid during the day. You know, they rather be all out here in the streets, you know, going out to the clubs, partying, not raising their children the proper way, how to be righteous, you know, not following the Lord's words, in so many words, not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. They're being self-willed, presumptuous, speaking things they ought not to do, you know. They're not conducting themselves in a holy manner as the daughters of Sarah, you know. It says, for some are already turned aside after Satan. All right. So they follow after their own heart's desires, man. You know, they go the opposite from Yahweh Shah or their Lord, you know, his word. You know, they become worshipers of idols and they be controlled by the vibration that's in the world today, which is demonic, you know, evil spirits, you know. So they turn aside after the deceiver. You know, they follow after what the deceiver want them to do, the deceitfulness of this world. You see? So they cast damnation to themselves by doing so, man. All right. 1 sec. Bear with me 1 sec. This is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Hold on. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. All right, subjection. All right, which really goes into, you know, obedience. All right, subjected themselves. All right, learn in silence. But I suffer, meaning allow, permit, you know, instruct, not a woman to teach, nor to observe authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. See, that's what Eve did in the garden, man. You know, she ate off the tree of knowledge of wickedness, man. You know, so she was deceived, and she was in transgression, just like our women do today. But they shall be saved in childbearing if they continue, you know, and they get pregnant if they continue in faith, in charity, in holiness, with sobriety, as it says right here in verse 15. All right, faith is the things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, according to Hebrews 11:1. All right, holiness, consecration, purification, you know, keeping everything in this rightful order, man. You know, abiding by the word of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, these scriptures. You know, self-control, soundness of mind, sobriety, you know. They not presumptuous. That's what sobriety is talking about. You know, she's self-controlled. Okay. This is Mark 8:38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. All right. So the Lord called this a sinful and adulterous generation. You know, because according to Proverbs 23, starting at verse 27 and 28, it says, for a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increase of the transgressors among men. You know, so that's why, you know, part of the reason why this is a sinful and adulterous generation. You know, sin is transgression of the law, you know, which is the word of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, these scriptures. All right. And our people have ultimately become sinful by breaking his laws when they worship other gods, you know. So that's why, you know, they're going to be ashamed when he returns. You know, they have damnation to themselves for doing those things as well, just as well as the woman. You know, as it says here, adulteress. And adulteress, as the intimate alliance of God with the people of Israel, was likened to a marriage, right? Because Israel ultimately is married to Yahweh, or through Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai died for his people to receive this word, you know, and to be joint with him in the kingdom to come, all right? So they can be delivered from their sins, and they have the law in their inward parts, in their minds and their hearts, and they won't commit sin anymore, you know? But right now, people are unclean, you know, because they relapse into idolatry. So they are said to commit adultery or play the harlot, man, or faithless to Yahweh by Shema Shai, you know? So that's when Yahweh by Shema Shai is going to be ashamed of, man, because he, you know, you are bought with a price, you know? If you shun away from him, you casting damnation to yourself, man. So as you see, I got that out of the book of Proverbs. Let's go right here to the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, the 36th chapter, verse 24, when I was talking about the woman. It says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. You know, so ultimately when a man gets with a woman, you know, he gets a possession, meaning that that woman belongs to that man, you know. But nowadays we see our women commit adultery, man. We see them, you know, sleeping around, you know. So they're faithless. They cast off their faith. All right. And that's why they become an adulterous and sinful generation. Which is why Paul said in the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 7 says, for I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man have his proper gift of Yahweh by Shema Shai, one after this manner and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide, even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry. All right. Marry meaning have sex. Unite. Right. For it's better to marry than to burn. Right. Burning in your lust, man. You know. So that's what that's talking about. All right. It says, and to the unmarried and to the married, I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. All right. So the Lord commanded the woman to not depart from her husband. But, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried. Right. Unmarried or you know, not sleeping around, you know, or be reconciled to her husband. All right, to return to, you know, favor with. All right. And let not the husband put away his wife, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. And the woman which have an husband that believeth not, and if she be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. All right, sanctified meaning hallowed, man. You know, to separate from profane things and dedicate to Yahweh by Shema Shai. You know, consecrate things to Yahweh. You know, to cleanse it externally, free from the guilt of sin. You know, you know, so you become sanctified by each other. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage. All right. In such cases, but Yahweh by Shema Shai have called us to peace. For what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband? Or how knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife? Or like the scriptures say, for the woman, she shall be saved if she continue in childbearing, in faith and holiness and sobriety, man. You know, following after the Most High. You know, and being obedience. All right, with his words. So this is Matthew chapter 19, verse 5. It said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh, meaning they two. Wherefore there are no more two, but one flesh. What therefore Yahweh by Shema Shai have joined together, let not man put asunder. All right? I mean, break that apart, man, to separate, to divide, to leave, man. All right? They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so, because the Lord made man and woman to be together. All right? And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication. All right? Fornication. Right here it says illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, homosexuality, lesbianism. Well, we know basically her transgression of man. She's sleeping around playing a harlot, man. She's become an adulterous woman. All right. So, and I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, shall marry another committeth adultery, and whoso marrieth her which is put away do committeth adultery. So even though that man, he's not dealing with her no more, but he's still living, and he ultimately has sex with her, she's committing adultery against that man, and so is the man that's sleeping along with her. All right. That's why in the book of Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 1 says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. So a man wouldn't be, transgressing against the Lord. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Don't be around here trying to have multiple husbands, have one. That's what that's saying. So let's skip on down to verse 28. Just like we supposed to have one Lord, one God, or else you'll be committing spiritual adultery and spiritual fornication by worshiping all these other gods in idolatry. But 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 28, but then if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin married, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. All right. All right, because trouble in the flesh comes from you being distracted from what Yahweh by Shema Shai, is putting down your path, man. His will. All right. That's why verse 32 says, but I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord, how you may please the Lord. That's his will, how you may please him. But if you're distracted, you're having troubles in the flesh. Verse 33, but he that is married care for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There's difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman care for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy, both in body and in spirit. But she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. All right. Which is why verse 29 says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short, it remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. But continuing on where I left off at. All right. And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. But if any man think he behaveth himself uncomely, towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but have power over his own will, and have so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, doeth well. So then he that giveth her in marriage doeth well, but he that giveth her not in marriage doeth better. And the wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment. And I think also that I have the spirit of Yahweh. All right. Because according to the books of the law, man, if a woman committed adultery in ancient world, man, in the book of Leviticus, she would get put to death, man. Some women would even get stoned, some would get burned. Like for an example, we can go to the book of Deuteronomy, man, And but first, let's get this. This is Leviticus chapter 21. I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, "They shall not take a wife that is a whore or profane." All right, but the moment a woman sleeps with more than one man, she becomes a whore, man. All right. So the only way to take away that reproach, she has to get with a man of the Lord, to take away that blame. Because now he's teaching her that she's held accountable. All right. And the moment she trespasses against him, she have cast damnation to herself. And that's why Apostle Paul says, the unbelieving, let them not depart, man. Because the Lord is making y'all join together to be holy, and follow after his will. All right. So Leviticus 21:7, it says, they shall not take a wife that is a whore or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his God, man. Ultimately that man that's serving Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man, another man should come along to try to deal with that woman, man. Or else he'll be committing adultery. In verse 9, the daughter of any priest, all right, if she profane herself by playing a whore, she profaneth her father, she shall be burnt with fire. That's what is written, man. That woman should be burnt with fire, man. And as you see in verse 13, and he shall take a wife in her virginity. All right. Now the book of Deuteronomy, the 23rd chapter, verse 17, says, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel, right? You homosexuals. All right. So this is what the Lord commanded, man. But of course we know these curses have came upon our people. According to Amos 7:17, our wives are going to be a harlot in the city, man. Israel is going to go into captivity. All right. And our sons and daughters was going to fall by the sword, man. They're just going to die in a polluted land. As you see happening today. This Bible is a living document, man. It's a living testimony. And I'm going to end it off on this. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. It all started back in the book of Deuteronomy, man. You had the curses and the blessings, the 28th chapter. Verses 1 and 15 were the blessings, and verses from 16 through 68 were the curses, man, that were put upon the nation of Israel that was going to follow them as a sign that they are the Lord's chosen people no matter where they go, from generation to generation until he come back and redeem them, from off this sinful earth, man. And he established his kingdom and righteousness in order when a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. And this wicked is no more. The laws are in their inward parts, man. Because ultimately Israel is just getting a taste of its own medicine, man. They forsook the Lord. They played the harlot by worshiping all these other idols, idolatry, following these false religions. All right. So ultimately they forgot who their power was, which is Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man. So the Lord caused them to feel that same, because he said he's jealous over our nation with godly jealousy, man. He's a jealous power, man. He don't want you serving these other guys, man. Just like a man don't want his woman to commit adultery, man. A true man, a man of the Lord, All right, but unless she's just a wicked woman, man, he just got to flee from her. All right, but Jeremiah 31:27. All right, it says, Salakia, bear with me one sec. Jeremiah 31:31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant, which covenant means promise, with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, which what I was just talking about, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make, because right, Israel is married to the Lord. But this shall be the covenant, so once again, commit spiritual adultery and fornication when they worship other gods. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts. And they and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. All right, so Yahweh desires to lead us to this purpose. Till next time, we'll say shalom.